Beneath the dark water, where pressure crushes submarine steel, there is a biological war machine so complete that it redefines the line between life and the sperm whale, Physeter macrocephalus, the heaviest brain in Earth's history, 9 kilograms. But its brain-to-body ratio ranks among the smallest in all mammals. Because that brain is not for thinking, it controls a unirejectoral sensor system, 236 decibel ultrasound waves. Underwater, that number will rupture your eardrum from half a meter away, 44 times louder than a thunderclap in air. Today, we dissect this machine into 3 layers: mechanics, chemistry, and neural algorithms. And finally, we will reveal its only weak point, the thing that has killed hundreds of thousands and threatens to erase them this century. The largest brain ever to exist, 6 times heavier than a human's. But look at the ratio, a 50-ton body. Each kilogram of brain must control 5.5 tons of flesh and bone. In humans, each kilogram of brain controls only 70 kilograms of body. That means the sperm whale's brain carries a mass load 78 times greater than ours. So why didn't evolution produce a smaller brain? Because its job isn't abstract thought. The sperm whale's brain is a real-time acoustic processing center. Each ultrasonic click must be analyzed instantly. Distance, size, density, movement of prey. But all of this happens in complete darkness. Scientists at the University of St. Andrews attached D-tags to 4 male sperm whales. The result, 83 dives, depth ranging from 14 meters to 1,860 meters. What does that number mean? A Los Angeles-class nuclear submarine has an operational depth of about 450 meters. The sperm whale dives 4 times deeper, and it does so without 5 centimeter thick steel armor. Pressure at 1,860 meters is 190 megapascal, equivalent to 1,900 kilograms of force on every square centimeter. If you stuck your arm out a submersible window at that depth, your forearm bones would turn to powder in 0.1 seconds. So how does the whale's skeleton survive? The secret is myoglobin. Myoglobin is the oxygen-carrying protein in muscle. In humans, it accounts for about 0.5% of muscle mass. In sperm whales, that number reaches 25%. And their myoglobin molecules carry such a strong positive charge that they repel each other, preventing clumping even at concentrations lethal to any land mammal. Dr. Michael Berenbrink's team at the University of Liverpool discovered that myoglobin concentration in sperm whale muscle is so high that if applied to human muscle, your muscles would turn rock hard and unable to contract. Sperm whales traded flexibility for oxygen storage. Our muscles can twitch 100 times per second. Theirs only about twice per second. But each contraction lasts tens of seconds, enough to push a 50-ton body up from the abyss. Then there's the second paradox. They are nearly deaf to low-frequency military sonar, yet can hear their podmates click from tens of kilometers away. Why? Because their auditory system is finely tuned to filter only the 10 kHz to 16 kHz range, the frequency produced by the phonic lips. Anything outside that band is ignored. That's an evolutionary strategy. Don't waste energy processing noise. But the price is that when humans pump 235 decibels of sonar at that exact frequency, the whale cannot tell the difference between a real signal and an attack. Its entire navigation system, perfected over 15 million years, becomes jammed. They surface too fast, get decompression sickness, nitrogen bubbles in blood destroy tissue. An ironic death. The ocean's most perfect machine killed by the very sound it was designed to hear. Start with a number. 1/4 of the sperm whale's body length is its head, and 1/3 of its total body weight is inside that head. Not muscle, not bone. Oil. A special oil called spermaceti. Spermaceti is not ordinary fat. It's a mixture of wax esters and triglycerides, with a melting point that changes with depth. When the whale is at the surface, warm tropical water around 25 degrees Celsius keeps spermaceti liquid. When it dies below 200 meters, water temperature drops to 8 degrees Celsius. The outer layer solidifies into wax. This seems like a disaster. A 10-ton block of wax inside the skull. But that's precisely the most sophisticated buoyancy control mechanism ever evolved. When liquid, the oil has a density of 0.86 grams per cubic centimeter, lighter than seawater. When solid, density increases to 0.94 grams per cubic centimeter. That tiny change alters the buoyancy of the entire head by up to 200 kilograms. A 50-ton creature can change depth without swimming, without moving a single muscle, just by cooling or warming a few tons of oil inside its head. That's why sperm whales can hover motionless in the deep for hours. They're adjusting the temperature of their own brain. But that's only function 1. Function 2, the acoustic lens. The spermaceti organ is encased in a parabolic, concave layer of cartilage. When sound waves from the phonic lips travel through, they refract through layers of different densities, exactly like light through a convex lens. The result: instead of broadcasting sound in all directions, the sperm whale emits a single beam less than 10 degrees wide. That beam can be steered by muscles compressing the spermaceti, scanning the ocean floor like an acoustic flashlight. Bertil Knoll's 2003 study at Orcas University measured peak click intensity at 236 decibels, re 1 meter per second at 1 meter. For comparison, a jet engine at 100 meters is 150 decibels. The whale's click at 1 meter is 44 times more intense. At half a meter, it would rupture the eardrum of any vertebrate. And sperm whales produce hundreds of clicks per second. Function 3, battering ram. Mature males use their oil and cartilage-filled heads to ram each other during mating battles. No exposed bone. The entire impact is absorbed and dispersed through the 10-ton oil mass. Imagine two 50-ton trucks colliding at 20 kilometers per hour. That's 400,000 joules of energy, enough to crush a small car. But the sperm whale gets only superficial scratches, because the spermaceti organ works like a hydraulic airbag. Sperm whales have no molars. Look at their jaws. Only 20 to 26 pairs of conical teeth, each about 20 centimeters long, but these teeth are nearly useless for biting. In fact, there are countless records of sperm whales with completely shattered lower jaws still hunting and thriving for decades. So what's the secret? Suction. The esophageal muscles and tongue generate extreme negative pressure. When prey is within range, the mouth cavity expands suddenly. Volume increases 5-fold, sucking in water and the entire squid. The force is so strong that a 10-meter giant squid, weighing over 200 kilograms, is pulled inside instantly. And that prey is alive. It thrashes, tentacles gripping the esophagus walls. But the whale has a secondary weapon: high-pressure peristaltic waves. Esophageal muscles contract with up to 30 newtons of force. 10 times the swallowing force of a human. Within 15 seconds, the squid vanishes from the lit world. Now, the most extreme phase, the stomach. Sperm whales have a 4-chambered stomach, superficially like a cow's, but fundamentally different. The first chamber contains hydrochloric acid at 0.5 milligrams, pH around 0.3. To visualize, human stomach acid has a pH of 1.5 to 2.0. The whale's is up to 50 times more concentrated. It can dissolve an iron nail in 24 hours. Squid protein breaks down completely within 4 hours. But one thing cannot be digested: the squid beak. Made of alpha chitin and a liquid protein complex, an ultra-tough composite that no enzyme can cleave. Thousands of beaks accumulate in the stomach. Without an expulsion mechanism, they would perforate the stomach wall within years. Evolution's solution: ambergris. The whale's small intestine secretes a grey, waxy substance that coats the beaks, forming smooth, rounded lumps. These are eventually expelled, essentially giant fecal stones, weighing up to 100 kilograms. Fresh ambergris smells horrific, a mix of feces, ammonia, and rancid fat. Then a miracle occurs as it drifts for decades. Sunlight. Sunlight, seawater, and bacteria oxidize the compounds, transforming ambergris into a complex, warm, earthy, mossy, tobacco-sweet perfume. In the 19th century, 1 kilogram of ambergris was worth the equivalent of $10,000 today. It was used as a fragrance fixative in the finest perfumes. Chanel No. 2. 5 once contained real ambergris. Today, whaling is largely banned. Natural ambergris is extremely rare. A 1 kilogram lump can sell for $50,000. People have become overnight millionaires by finding ambergris washed ashore. But remember, that precious substance is actually a byproduct of thousands of squid digested in the most acidic environment on the planet. So far, we've discussed the sperm whale as a solitary machine. But the biggest mistake in studying this species is viewing them as loners. Truth: sperm whales have one of the most complex societies on the planet, second only to humans and higher primates. Basic unit: the matrilineal family unit. A pod of 5 to 20 females, grandmothers, mothers, aunts, and their offspring. Male calves stay with the pod until age 10 to 15, then are driven out. This family unit can live together for 70 years, the sperm whale's natural lifespan. And they communicate, not with simple sounds. Sperm whales use click coda patterns, sequences of 3 to 40 clicks with specific rhythms. Each clan has a unique acoustic identity, like a dialects in human language. Dr. Hal Whitehead's team at Dalhousie University recorded and analyzed thousands of codas from different populations. They discovered that clans living only a few hundred kilometers apart have completely different dialects. A whale from one clan cannot understand another. Codas aren't just for greeting. Scientists believe they convey complex information: feeding ground locations, predator sightings, even individual identity. Each sperm whale has its own signature coda, essentially a name. When a mother calls her calf, she repeats that specific coda. The calf answers with its own. This is the only naming system ever discovered in the animal kingdom, outside humans. Then there's adder nursing, communal childcare. When a group of mothers dive to 1,000 meters to feed, they cannot take calves. Juveniles under 5 years old lack the physiological capacity for such pressure. They stay at the surface, watched over by other females, grandmothers, aunts, or older sisters without calves of their own. These babysitters even nurse the calves with their own milk. DNA analysis shows that over 70% of nursing events in a pod come from non-biological mothers. Why would evolution accept such an energy-expensive system? Because calf survival triples when more than one mother provides care. In the harsh ocean environment, where a pod of orcas can attack at any moment, a pod with multiple adult females can form a defensive circle, heads outward, using ultrasound to repel attackers. A solitary whale stands no chance. This leads to a social paradox. The larger and stronger the male, the more solitary he becomes. After leaving the maternal pod, male sperm whales begin the longest migration of any mammal. They swim from warm equatorial waters up to the freezing Arctic and Antarctic, a journey of up to 10,000 kilometers each year. There, squid is abundant, but no family, no one to talk to. A male may live alone for 50 years. He returns to the equator only for mating season, fights other males, then leaves again. Marine biologists call them lonely voyagers. But the reality is harsher. They are exiles from a safe society, forced to face the vast ocean with only their own jaws and oil-filled skull. No one tends their wounds after a giant squid battle. No one warns them of an orca pack. Maximum individual strength, traded for absolute solitude. We've praised the sperm whale's perfection, but every machine has flaws. And for this abyssal overlord, 3 enemies in history have proven unbeatable. Enemy 1, Megalodon. 15 million years ago, the ocean held another monster, Otodus megalodon, 18 meters long, 50 tons in weight, a bite force of 180,000 newtons, 10 times that of a great white shark today. Fossils show Megalodon hunted the sperm whale's ancestors. One specimen excavated in Peru had 3 massive bite marks on its body. The first, 11.5 millimeter long. The second, 23.5 millimeters long, and a 116 millimeter tooth embedded deep into a vertebra. The tooth was broken, evidence of a mortal struggle. That whale survived for a few more weeks. Bone tissue began healing around the tooth, but infection finally killed it. Megalodon went extinct 2.6 million years ago, due to climate change, not to any stronger rival. If both species existed together today, would the sperm whale keep its crown? Paleontologists believe Megalodon would still lose to a whale pod, but a solitary individual, especially a smaller female or calf, would be easy prey. Enemy 2, Orca, the killer whale. Today, right now, battles between the 2 species continue. In 2022, off California, a pod of 35 orcas attacked a group of 9 sperm whales. The event lasted 4 hours. Researchers recorded it with drones. Orcas don't attack head-on. They swim in circles, create shock waves, try to isolate a calf. A mature male sperm whale can fight back with head rammed. The sperm whale's defense tactic, perhaps the strangest in the animal kingdom, is defensive defecation. When cornered, the entire pod simultaneously releases a massive cloud of feces. The thick, reddish-brown fecal cloud drifts in the water, impairing visibility and jamming the orca's sonar. Is this intentional? Some scientists argue it's just a fear response, like squid ink. Others believe sperm whales consciously control their anal sphincters because they only release when orcas are within 50 meters. Watch the previous video about a killer with claws that gut throats. Link in description.